Well, a late good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the iRacing's virtual Talladega Super Speedway for the final recruitment race for the SummerSlam 499. A bit of an on a dime type of call to even run this race tonight. And here we are. We're in heat race number 2. The lap counter may not be accurate, so don't rely on the lap counter so much. I just got in the session, so it may not be accurate. In fact, I know, it is not accurate, but do appreciate the flexibility tonight. I had a league broadcast right before this, if you caught it, from the Challenger Cup Series over at Indianapolis that ran a bit long, and a bit long is the stretch. It ran about 20 minutes long for me to be here in time to broadcast this race, but nonetheless, here we are. It's heat race number 2, and on the inside, a new name that I don't recognize. Heat number 1, by the way, already completed, with Matt Lee getting the win in that one. Well, on the inside, it was the 41 of Cohen Thompson, but he is completely blinked off the racetrack. Now he comes back, but he'll lose a bunch of spots. Heat race number 2 on the racetrack, so we'll have to see if our lap counter does update here. Want to thank all of you in the chat for waiting patiently. Go share the link. We are underway. This is live. Oh, trouble around a couple cars. Oh, my goodness. Somebody clobbers the inside wall. Michael Triscaro is one of the cars involved in the 34. And the other car, I believe, is Corey Wright, and he was destroyed. Just like that action here at Talladega Super Speedway, as this one is going to put us under the caution flag for the first time in heat race number 2. Oh, boy. It's already gotten started. Out back around. Actually started around Michael Triscaro. Oh, no, it did not. It started with Cohen Thompson. As the field worked off turn number 2, he was out of shape. He gets hit from behind, and as they come together, they try to go 4 wide. And Corey Wright, I think it's just going to go down. Oh, no, actually, it's up from the bottom. It's the 69 machine of Justin Bennett, who gets in the left side of Michael Triscaro, shoots him sideways. Around he goes. He gets hit by Corey Wright and the 41 of Thompson. You see Wright getting hit. He gets hit by the 38 of Gordon Spain. And big hit to the inside wall. 4 tires off the ground for the 54 of Corey Wright, one of the drivers, I believe, that ran in the February PGR 500 events, in the heat races at the very least, and he's going to come to an early end tonight. So too is Michael Triscaro, as no fast repairs are available in the pit lane. That's the only one they got, and unfortunately for these guys, it has gone awry very, very early. Let's see if we can get a good view from up top here. As watch Cohen Thompson. So Thompson's going to load back in. And does he just get the wall by himself? Oh, yeah, he gets the wall, gets a little out of shape, and is still bouncing off the wall. And they all come together, the 69, the 34, and the 54. And, oh, my goodness, that's a big hit. As Triscaro goes into the outside wall, the 54 of Wright goes into the inside wall hard. And a couple of other cars involved in that one. Let's take one more look, and then we'll go back to live action here from Talladega Super Speedway. Kind of get you set up for the upcoming restart. Let's get this angle right here. Excuse me. And this one should be something for this hit to the inside wall for Corey Wright. There you see the contact with Triscaro. And watch this hit. Oh! That is a big one there for Corey Wright. It's going to blow his engine, and his night's over. No fast repairs for these recruitment races. Unfortunately, will mark the end of the night for several drivers, including Corey Wright. Back under live action, our ticker says 11 to go. Tyler Vickery, I know, was in the chat. Tyler, if you're still in the chat, can you let me know if this number on the screen is accurate for the laps to go in heat number 2? He might be racing in heat number 2. Okay, he's not in the chat. He's racing in heat number 2. So that presents an entirely new problem. As Tyler Vickery, want to thank Tyler for doing some play-by-play in the live chat as everybody was waiting for this broadcast to go live. Want to thank Tyler for doing a little play-by-play for me as I was wrapping up things from Indianapolis. Again, you see the SummerSlam 499 graphic. This is the overlay that will be used later on in the week for the start of the SummerSlam 499. This is the final recruitment race for that event. Tonight, we're giving out, from what I understand, there were going to be 3 entries given out tonight. Now there are going to be 6 entries given out tonight. By virtue of Michael Triscaro, obviously series owner, they were going to give out 3, as we have done every one of these recruitment races. The Jack Shack has matched that 3 and said, hey, we're going to put some money in there too. Let's get 6 new drivers into the SummerSlam 499. Now, I don't know from Heat 1 who made it into the show. I can tell you the drivers that I know are not signed up at this point, and this again could be completely wrong, so just go with me here. I don't believe Sierra Clampert, by the way, Sierra Clampert, welcome back to PGR in 17th. I don't think she's signed up yet. I don't know about Justin Bennett. I don't know about Derek Turner back in 20th. Ryan Derrick, Cohen Thompson. And several cars that didn't make the grid. I know Jaden Baptiste, Robert Haas, Evan Kinney, and Travis Eubanks, but none of them made the grid for this second heat race, so they may get entries too, just by virtue of there not being new drivers in the field. We'll have to wait and see what race control decides to do. Business to be attended to here on track at Talladega Superspeedway. As we'll get you up to date on who's running where right now. Kyler Wynn and Landon Veliky run on row number 1. James Waring and Axel Smith back on row 2. Then it's John Ward and Jackson Byes on row number 3. Josh McCullough runs 7th. Brandon Broadfoot in 8th. Brandon Broadfoot's going to be attending the SummerSlam 499. Malik Ray is 9th. He makes an appearance in tonight's recruitment race, the defending champion of the SummerSlam 499. And Miles Bagley runs back in 10th. Bagley's been very strong in this car as well. Last 5 in, if the race were to end right now, Kenny McCullough, Brock Westerland, Kenny Reel, Michael Boyd, and Adam Young. All 5 of those drivers are, I believe, racing this weekend as well. We are currently at 10 to go, so my ticker is now right. Appreciate Tyler for that. I saw Tyler's in the waiting room. We'll grab him in a moment. He is focused on racing. You don't want to bring him up here too early. We'll see if we can grab him up here in just a moment. Maybe if he makes the show, we'll bring him in here as an in-race reporter for the feature, but with only 9 laps to go in Heat 2, we'll let him focus on his job at hand to make the feature. If he gets in the feature, Tyler, if you make it into the feature, we'll bring in here as an in-race reporter. Might bring him in here as a second broadcaster if he does not make tonight's feature event, which would really help me because I don't have much of a voice left, if you can't tell, after my league broadcasts, and I'm a little bit under the weather, so trying to maintain my voice as much as I can for this weekend. Green flag back in the air, 9 laps to go. At the Talladega Superspeedway, it's Kyler Wynn getting a huge jump on the field. Veliky will be his push here on the banking of turn number 1. Axel Smith is 3rd on the outside line with his dancing partner, Jackson Byes. Then it's Brandon Broadfoot, new colors for him. The SummerSlam 499 on the inside, going to be Waring, Ward. It was McCullough. He jumps out. Malik Ray will be 3rd on the inside. Watch for Ray to maybe split to the middle, but for now, he'll go to the push of John Ward. Brock Westmoreland's down there. Michael Boyd is down there, and now so is Miles Bagley. Down the Alabama Gang super stretch, Waring starting to get a little bit of momentum here into 3. Here comes that push, and here comes the bottom. James Waring for Dega Pros, pushed by his team owner, John Ward, will go all the way to the lead here off turn number 4, and now try to clear up in front of Kyler Wynn. Not quite going to get it just yet. It's very close. Malik Ray jumps up in front of Axel Smith. That's going to hang out that bottom lane. Only 2 cars now back to Brock Westmoreland. Axel Smith has another problem. Stops up that top lane. They'll go 3 wide. Axel to the middle. Kenny McCullough, Kenny Reel behind him. 1 more car. It's Adam Young in the Miller Lite Chevy. John Ward in the middle of the push of Malik Ray off James Waring. Kyler Wynn, Landon Veliky say thank you very much. We're going to go around the outside and take it to the wall to rim ride. Michael Boyd, big save off the bumper of Axel Smith, about 8 cars deep. Ooh, still trying to scramble. They're still out of shape back there around Asher Little. Kenny Reel. 1 more car. I couldn't tell who was in that McDonald's Toyota. About 20 cars deep in the field now. Wynn, Veliky up front. Michael Boyd on the bottom on the push of Kenny McCullough, the captain for McCullough Motorsports. Pushed on the bottom by Adam Young. Top side's got more numbers lined up, though 7 deep on the top. Outside goes Axel Smith. Big move by the 22. He'll bring his partner with him in Jackson Byes. Ward not able to cover. Ward will go to the bottom now on the push of Malik Ray, and it's Landon Veliky in no man's land. Kyler Wynn trying to stay with him. Veliky trying to pull clear of Malik Ray. He will not. Ward goes up to Veliky now and hangs out Malik Ray on the bottom. Ward goes all the way to the outside. Veliky throws the block. Axel Smith gets in a bit of a crossfire there, and trouble around goes Smith. Axel Smith goes sideways. Michael Boyd is in it as well. The caution will come out, maybe a bit prematurely. In the midst of all of that, obviously, as those cars got sideways, can understand why race control opts to throw the yellow. And Axel Smith, Michael Boyd get away pretty well unscathed, so they get a little bit lucky there for where that wreck started. They come to a stop on the exit of the back straightaway. Let's go back, take a look at what happened. Axel Smith in front of his, I want to say teammate, might as well be a teammate at this point, in Jackson Wise. They've run together here the last couple of these races. And as John Ward throws the block up to the top, you see, watch Landon Veliky. He's going to do it too, and it just stacks this line completely up. Axel, does he try to turn left, maybe, to try to go to the middle? And as he tries to get back in line, I think is where the problem is going to start for him, because this line's going to check up again. Look at Veliky. Ward's on the brakes. Bies doesn't get the memo. He goes across and grabs Axel Smith. He goes across Westmoreland's nose. Kenny McCullough gets a piece of this. And there goes Michael Boyd. Let's see if Boyd keeps it off the wall. I think he's going to tank slap it. He does. Flush with the right front. So some damage there for Michael Boyd as he goes sideways. But all things considered, that could have been a lot worse for the 3-car, considering the angle he was headed for that inside wall. Let's go up top. I'll try to show you this checkup. Watch John Ward right in front of Axel Smith. You see, these two get to the outside. They're going to have a big run. I mean, Bies is tandem. Ward sees it. He's going to block. Veliky sees it, but it's a little later. It's an offset push, and I think when this line starts to check, actually, Axel gets into Ward, who gets into Veliky, and that's what stops the line the first time as Kyler tries to come back up. Landon's got a lift. Ward's on the brakes. Axel's on the brakes. Jackson Bies going to clip his teammate there. Didn't quite get that memo. Smith down across Michael Boyd. There you see McCullough and Westmoreland getting minimal involvement. Malik Ray gets a little bit of it as well. Good saves by McCullough and Westmoreland. And Michael Boyd, left side of your screen. He's going to tap the wall. There it is right there. And the 22 of Axel Smith. Does he get the wall too? He rolls down towards the inside wall as well. But he gets those tires moving the right direction and actually manages to keep that Chevrolet off the safer barrier. So good for Axel Smith. Michael Boyd gets some damage. He's on pit road repairing that damage. Trying to get back into this race. We'll take one more look at this one as they rocketed down the back straightaway and give you a full speed look. As Axel Smith comes across, Michael Boyd gets sideways and he is going to slap the inside wall on the right side of that car. I think the luckiest thing is it looks like it's all fender damage for Michael Boyd. Let's see. Comes to a stop. He drives this one away, but I don't think he's got any major, I don't think he's got any major suspension damage, or does he here? And he appears to be crab walking, so. Or was he just trying to get back on track? No, that car is worse for wear on the right front, so maybe some suspension damage for Michael Boyd, but again, all things considered, that could have been a lot worse than it was for Boyd and Axel Smith. Back up front, Kyler Wynn continues to lead the way at Talladega here in heat number 2. Again, top 15 will advance to our final feature race of the night. Final feature race of one of these recruitment races of the whole process. Again, the road to the SummerSlam 499 concludes tonight. Registration is open for about the next hour, or as long as it takes us to run these 4 laps and the next 30 laps in the feature race. That's about how long registration will be open. If you want to get involved, there are spots available in the 2025 PGR SummerSlam 499 event that starts this Thursday. Head over to PGR eSports.com. You'll see a banner in the top of the page that says SummerSlam 499. There'll be a button on that banner that says Register Now. That'll take you to the registration form. It'll give you the way to pay your way into the race. It'll give you all the fields that you need to fill out to give us your information to get you in the field for the SummerSlam 499. It'll also give you a spot to give your preferred heat numbers as well. We'll run 1 through 3 on Thursday night, 8, 9, and 10 p.m. 4 through 6 on Friday night, 8, 9, and 10 p.m. 7 and 8 on Saturday afternoon at 1 and 2 p.m. That's all in Eastern Standard Time. But you can give your preferences if you have to have a shift at work, or if you already have plans and you just have some you can't make, or some you're like, hey, I need to be in 1 or 4, or hey, I need to be in 5 or 6, or what have you. Then you can place that information there, and get involved in the PGR eSports SummerSlam 499. The other way to do it is a direct link to that registration form, and I did not have time to put this in the description. It is pgresports.com/summer-slam-499. Again, that's pgresports.com/summer-slam-499. That's going to take you directly to the registration page where you can fill out all that information, get your name in the hat. We'll get the notification when you sign up. We've had a lot sign up today, but there are still spots remaining if you want to get in the biggest sim racing event of the summer. Heat racing starts Thursday, goes through Saturday afternoon. We have dual races on Saturday evening, and the feature race on Sunday afternoon, the SummerSlam 499, the third annual running of the race, the second that will go the full 499 miles. It's the fourth ever PGR Crown Jewel. Hope to have you out there. Again, still spots remaining, but you don't have a lot of time. You have about 60 minutes, or again, however long it takes us to run the next 4 laps, then a warm-up session, then 30 laps in a feature race. That's about how long you have before the entry list will be finalized, and we'll be starting heat assignments tomorrow during the day. At some point, that list will get released, and if you're a driver in the field, you're going to know what heat you're racing in this weekend for the event. Kyler Wynn leads, Landon Velicky second. Wynn elects the outside with Malik Ray. Green flag back in the air, and away we go. 3 laps to go in heat number 1. Wynn and Ray got a huge start. Kenny McCullough along with them. Velicky awaits Ward and Westmoreland. Oh, trouble! Out back, couple cars around. Broadfoot, Real, the 69 as well, and a couple others get involved. And the caution comes right back out. Justin Bennett was one of those cars. Gordon Spain, Ryan Derrick are involved. Looks like Axel Smith may have been in this as well. But it started with Justin Bennett and Kenny Real, as they were the first 2 I saw get sideways. Oh, it actually starts up in front of Justin Bennett here. Justin Bennett, I thought was a former PGR driver. I think I'm thinking of Thomas Bennett. Apologies. So watch here, 3 laps to go, and there's going to be a stack up here somewhere. Is it on the bottom? I think it's on the bottom. Watch the inside lane. Yeah, it stacks up right in front of Brandon Broadfoot. He's on the brakes. Bagley's on the brakes, but just not much you can do. It actually shoots both of them to their right. Broadfoot gets into Real. Bagley gets into Bennett, and it is just on from there. Look at Kenny Real up in front of this, by the way, in the 11, just jackknifing that car to try to get it out of this wreck. He's going to get hit by Miles Bagley. Oh, no, Tyler Vickery is involved in the 124. There's Gordon Spain getting a piece. Looks like the 41 is also going to get a piece. That's Cohen Thompson. There's Ryan Derrick. He may not have gotten involved. He may have just come to a stop. Oh, but actually, right here. Well, no. He may have just come to a stop. So I'll have to go back and double check that. So really, in the end, it's only about 4 cars that incur any damage. 5 if you count Bagley. But it was a stack up on the restart that gets things out of shape, and we'll try to show you that here in this replay. Watch Brandon Broadfoot. He's 6th on the inside line in a transfer position. You're going to see them all stack up as guys have problems on the restart. And right about here, it's on. Tyler Vickery may be okay. Just kind of noses in the wall. Ryan Derrick, yeah, just comes to a stop. Boy, 26 car, that is quick braking for Ryan Derrick. As he gets away from this unscathed, it looks like. Quick thinking by the 26. Get one more angle, and then we'll go back live for overtime here in heat number 2. So Landon Velicky's the first car on the bottom, and I think he just gets beat to the punch. And because he is not as quick to restart, the inside line's going to stack up behind him back to Brandon Broadfoot in that red, blue, and black number 22, 6th in line. You're going to see the stack up gets back to him, no harm, no foul, but then it's Bagley that gets in the back of him and at a weird angle and just shoots him sideways. Kenny Real is going to get a piece of this. You see he's going to get Bagley. There's Bennett that goes to his right. Boy, the 36 of Sierra Clampert parts the seas. There you see Tyler Vickery getting involved. That 23 car, I'm not particularly sure who that is. We'll try to figure it out here on this restart, but that car gets involved as well. You see Spain getting in it big. Vickery just kind of noses the wall. Cohen Thompson makes a nice save. Axel Smith gets around it. Boy, Ryan Derrick, I mean, that's about as close as you can get. He had a front row seat, but he gets past it. So for Smith, Clamper, and Derrick, and really Brandon Broadfoot also, they dodge a bullet for everyone else. Kind of a tough break. Let's go on board quickly with Sierra Clampert before we get back up to the green flag. We might go on board with Ryan Derrick as well. But let's go on board with the 36, making her return to PGR tonight. Sierra Clampert, let's see how she navigated this one. Kenny Reel trying to make the save. Clampert waits for the C's to part. She gets past it. Now runs into transfer position in 13th place. Let's go on board with Ryan Derrick, the other car I wanted to get on board with in this one, and see his angle. Look at this for Ryan Derrick. Oh, he actually does get hit a little bit, but look at this. Oh, boy, coming across his nose. Are several cars right there. And Ryan Derrick able to get past it. He is on pit road, though, one lap down. Or, no, not one lap down, on the tail end of the lead lap. He's just come off pit road. Excuse me. Overtime attempt number 1. We'll only have one in this second heat. It will be 2 laps to go. Kyler Wynn is your leader. Malik Ray is second. Kenny McCullough third. Landon Velicki in fourth. Josh McCullough is fifth. John Ward 6th. Brock Westmoreland 7th. Jackson Byes 8th. James Waring 9th. And Adam Young 10th. Last 5 cars in as they run. Kenny Reel, Miles Bagley, Sierra Clampert, Asher Little, and Keith Prince. Notably right now, Michael Triscaro would be out. Brandon Broadfoot would be out. Axel Smith would be out. Tyler Vickery would be out. As well as Spain, Gordon Spain, Justin Bennett, Michael Boyd, and Corey Wright. Corey Wright actually has called it an evening. And along with those 5 cars that are not on the grid, you see them listed the last 5 spots. 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th, and 31st. Oh, man, Tyler Vickery's got extensive repairs to go through on pit road. He did come back out, so, again, he'll need a little bit of help here on this restart to get back with the field, but I may have actually stayed on pit road. No, it looks like he did come back out, so he'll get back with the field. We'll see if he's got some good luck. Maybe some guys wreck in front of him and can provide him with an opening to make this feature race. Keeping an eye on that transfer position. Asher Little, Kenny Reel, who just made an incredible save, by the way, on that incident. Sierra Clampert, Derek Turner, Keith Prince, Brandon Broadfoot, Michael Triscaro, Axel Smith, all back around that position. Here you see Vickery catching up with the field. So it will be about 22 that will compete for 15 spots. Chaos last night, chaos last Monday night in these heat races as we determined who got those last spots. Certainly going to be more right here. Kyler Wynn, Malik Ray on the front row. You can't get too over-aggressive if you're up here at the front either. As we learned both last year in the SummerSlam 499 and in February in the PGR 500, you cannot get too over-aggressive in a heat race or it will cost you ultimately, potentially, tonight it will cost you a spot in the feature of this recruitment race. This weekend it could cost you a whole lot more than that. Could cost you your run in the SummerSlam 499. We've seen it time and time and time again. 2 laps to go. Simulating an overtime restart, basically in a heat race. You're looking for 15 spots. Green flag back in the air. Kyler Wynn is off to the races. Up towards turn number 1. Wynn on the gas. He'll jump out in front of Malik Ray, who's getting a big push from Landon Velicki, though. Oh, man, that was almost a hairy moment. Kenny McCullough on the bottom with his son Josh in behind him, but no cars out back until James Waring. The banking of 1 and 2, they start to jostle back around Asher Little and Sierra Clampert and Kenny Reel for the transfers. They'll come to the 8 of the bottom, try to actually go forward in numbers here on that bottom lane rather than try to sneak in on the top side. Kenny McCullough leads that second, or that inside lane down the Alabama gang. Super stretching there, coming to the front into 3. Kyler Wynn, Malik Ray, Landon Velicki clear. McCullough to the inside of John Ward for 4th. That group continues to come forward. Off turn number 4 for the penultimate time. Axel Smith throwing blocks back there around the 20th position. Not going to be enough for him to get in as of right now. He's going to have a miracle through the trial for the second to last time. White flag is up. 1 lap to go in heat race number 2. Kyler Wynn, Malik Ray, Landon Velicki. How loyal are you if you're one of these top 3? Here comes Kenny McCullough. Malik Ray throws a block on it. Right to the lead in turn 1. Kenny McCullough to the push now. That's going to drag a lot of those cars that are in that line up to them. Ray goes on the nose of Wynn on the outside. McCullough leads the bottom. He's pushed by his son, Josh McCullough, here into turn 3. Ray's not going to be able to cover this one. Neither is Kyler Wynn as they get into turn number 3. Here comes Kenny McCullough again. McCullough trying to get to the inside, trying for a heat win. They're definitely most likely good to get into the race. Out back, it's jostling for the final few spots. Michael Triscaro, Tyler Vickery. Can they get the spots here into the tri-oval? Triscaro on the back of his former teammate Vickery into the tri-oval the final time. Veliky drops to the bottom to try to win it. It will not be enough. Malik Ray wins the final heat race. And out back, they jostle for the positions to transfer in. And all come flying into the outside wall. In turn 1, Malik Ray's in, Kyler Wynn is in, Landon Veliky's in, John Ward and Kenny McCullough. Brock Westerlin is in. Oh, and we're going right to a warm-up. Boy, that was awfully fast. Well, that was not nice of them to take the results off the screen that fast, but hey, nonetheless, we are about to be feature racing at Talladega Super Speedway. As I get to take a breath in this warm-up session as we get ready to go green from Talladega Super Speedway. You can tell I don't have a ton of voice. Trying my best tonight, obviously trying to save some for this weekend, but just not a lot we can do about that. Some of the names I'm seeing from Heat 1 that made it in: Daniel Falkingham, Matt Lee, Ethan Collier, Chase Mastretta, last night's runner-up, or excuse me, third-place finisher. Tom Dixon, Bob Fitzgerald, Brian Hennings, Josh Dambroni, Mark Vondell, Dylan Ast, Jeff Merck, J.R. Miller. How about that? Been a while since we've seen the Team PGR driver J.R. Miller in the session. He's in this feature. Nathan Harper, Bobby Rashall, Trevor Osbornoff, the Jack Shack. Bradley Stefane, welcome back. Vicente Guerrero's in the session tonight. We got a bunch of guys that did not make it, so we'll have to wait and see who's actually in the race. We got a bunch of guys that did not make it. But interesting to see some of these names. I look down, guys that we just haven't seen in a long time. Larry McDonald comes back tonight. Tobias Matheson is back tonight. Remember, he made a run to the dual races in the PGR 500 back in February. Mitch Regatas is back tonight. He's in the feature. Sean Corbett. There's a lot of drivers in this feature race that we haven't seen in a really long time, and that's cool, man. You like to see people come back, and people did. And that is really cool. To see some of these names, it's like they're not regulars, they don't race on a weekly basis, but they came back anyway. You really love to see that when it comes down to business time for these big crown jewel events. So good to see a lot of guys back that we haven't seen in a while. Let's get into it. For feature racing, though, on this final night of recruitment racing for the SummerSlam 499. On the pole for the feature event tonight from Talladega, it's the driver of the 04. It's Matt Lee in that Martin Sports Toyota Camry. To his outside, it'll be Malik Ray, the driver for Vegas Inferno in the eNASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series, and the defending winner of the championship belt in the 2024 SummerSlam 499. Row 2, defending PGR champion and PGR 500 winner, it's Daniel Falkingham. On the inside, it'll be Kyler Wynn, a podium 500 champ and a multi-time PGR winner. He'll start from position number 4. Row 3, Trevor Osbornoff in the 89 machine, and Landon Veliky in the 62 will go from 5th and 6th. Tobias Matheson starts from 7th tonight. It's that silver car back there on the inside of row number 4, I believe. It'll be John Ward to his outside in 8th. Row 5, Josh Dambroni in the 15 machine. It'll be 13 on the side of the car. And Kenny McCullough, the captain for McCullough Motorsports, goes from 10th. Back in 11th, Mark Person returns tonight as well in the 2 car. He'll go from 11th, Brock Westerlin from 12th. Jeff Merck for NBG Motorsports rolls from 13th, and Josh McCullough in 14th. Row 8, Brian Hennings in for Team PGR in the 74 from 15th. It's James Waring for Dega Pros from the 16th position. Row 9, Larry McDonald in the 80, and Adam Young for the Jack Shack in the 18th spot. Row 10, my fellow broadcaster, Austin Green makes a start tonight. He'll make the final feature race for this recruitment event. He'll go from 19th. It's Kenny Reel for the Jack Shack in 20th. Hunter East goes from 21st, with Sierra Clamper making her return tonight in 22nd. Mitch Regatas goes from 23rd. Miles Bagley goes from 24th. Tom Dixon starts 25th in this feature event with Keith Prince in 26th. Sean Corbett goes 27th. Derek Turner in 28th. Final 2 cars on the field, Bob Fitzgerald and Jackson Bice, last 2 on the grid, did not make the feature. Actually, they will both not make it. They were just in case of EOL penalties on the final lap of the heat race. With none, that will mean they will not make it. 30 cars for 5 payout spots for our regulars tonight. So the Matt Lees of the world, the Daniel Falkinghams of the world, they're racing for a payout. I just had a window come up on my screen. Classic, as we're about to go into the green flag. We're actually not about to go into the green flag. Shout out Race Control for giving me an extra lap to work with here. But a couple cars are on pit road. Mark Person, Malik Ray are on pit road, opting either pit start or they just missed the grid. And John Ward has missed the grid completely. So, not sure what happened there to the 92, but he has missed the grid completely. He's not even on track currently. So, John Ward may have called it an early evening. 30 laps at Talladega Super Speedway coming up in just 1 lap. And with that being said, unfortunately did not make the feature, but let's bring him in anyway. Let's make sure our Discord audio is all set to go here before we bring him in here. But we're going to bring in Tyler Vickery as a second broadcaster for this event. He did not, unfortunately, make this feature race, but we'll bring him in regardless. And save me some voice, save me a little bit of my vocal abilities here for this weekend coming up for the SummerSlam 499. Let's bring him in to the broadcast booth to join us now as a second broadcaster. It's Tyler Vickery coming up here in the 124. Tyler, unfortunately, the second heat did not go according to plan. You almost made the miracle run into this race. Nonetheless, didn't work out for you. What did you see on track? What went wrong towards the end of that heat race there? What do you expect here for the feature as well?
Yeah, that was just a lot of door slamming there coming to the line. Jackson, of course, just door slamming me, but that's normal of him. That's just these cars. You have to be very aero friendly and stuff. You have to know when to use the side draft, when to do a lot of different things. So it makes a huge difference. So me not being good with the side drafts and stuff, it hurts me a lot.
Well, now feature racing coming up. 30 cars in this final recruitment race for the SummerSlam 499. I want to ask you before the green flag, I guess it's a 2-part question, and I guess if you say no to part 1, you may not be able to answer part 2. But part 1 of the question is, can we expect to see you this weekend? And then part 2, did you learn anything tonight that's going to kind of help you out when you get a heat assignment coming up here this weekend?
Yeah, part 1 I could say yes. Jaskar's already picking fun with me because if none of you guys have watched last year's SummerSlam 500, I still get picked fun of that I should have won that. Even some of the top guys said that if it wasn't for my darn internet connection at the time, I should have been had a good chance at fighting for that win, but I was still happy for a P5 out of that. So Michael's already picking fun, telling me I need to defend that P5. So we'll see how this weekend goes. I also have a sports card show I got to go to, but at the same time, I'm making sure I'm able to make it for the heat races. So it's just the way this is going. It's going to have to be survival of the fittest.
Well, survival of the fittest was the case last year in the SummerSlam 499. A lot of chaotic moments in that one. It was the case back in February for the PGR 500, and this car certainly lends itself to that as well. You'll get a sneak peek, a little bit of a taste of what you're going to expect later on throughout the weekend. It's Matt Lee bringing him into the restart zone. Green flag goes in the air, and away we go. And look at both lines already. Falkingham getting pushed 4, 5, 6 deep in line as the field reaches the banking of turn 1. It's going to let Kyler win. That white and red Toyota take the lead on the outside. Pushed by Landon Felicki in the 62. A who's who of money racing here at the front of the field early. Look out back, though. Josh McCullough says, Josh Jambroni, you haven't been around for a while. And welcome back. Here's my welcome gift to you. I'm going to take you 3 wide on the opening lap of this one. He'll pick up Brock Westmoreland on that outside lane. Kenny McCullough's going to jump out there. And in 3, it's scrambling from 10th on back as the leaders start to pull away.
3 wide back, and already some people are making huge mistakes further back. I believe that might be, looks like Derek Turner. Ooh, big wreck behind. No, look out.
Oh, my goodness. We got a car on top of another car. That's Bob Fitzgerald on top of James Waring. That's going to bring out the early caution flag. Adam Young was involved in this as well. This kind of took about a whole half a lap to develop, back around the 15th to 20th positions. But it'll bring out the caution flag early in this one. Looks like Malik Ray may have picked up a piece of this also in that one machine. We'll have to double check. He's actually a couple laps down. So
he in actuality, he is on the lead lap. He forgot to grid, so he started from pit lane as well as Mark Pearson. So yeah, he got a little lucky rabbit foot there with that one, because the way it was looking, it could have been very troublesome right off the bat for good old Malik Ray here.
Well, we see up ahead Westmoreland as Kenny McCullough goes up to pick him up. I think that top lane's going to stack. Oh, yeah, right there. Big push. Josh McCullough to Brock Westmoreland. And from there on back, you see Waring's on the brakes. Adam Young, not where you want to be, is top of 4 wide. It looks like that's where he is. And you have the real estate, but everybody's got to hold a pretty wheel. And James Waring, boy, I mean, just drives right across the nose of Adam Young there. It's hard to put it any other way. That stacks that top lane up. You see Bagley get a piece. You see Keith Prince get a piece. A couple other cars going to get involved in this as well. They actually kind of make it through that part of it. And perhaps some more contact. Adam Young to James Waring. That gets Young out of shape. And on comes the rest of the field. And the 08 of Bob Fitzgerald's going to get involved in this. I'm really curious, though, because he just kind of spins. How in the world does he end up on top of James Waring? And it's an overcorrection. And
yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Waring had nowhere to go.
I mean, his rear tires are up on the roof number of James Waring's car. He gets a free ride down here onto the apron. And that is one of the stranger wrecks you're going to see on the iRacing service. And it happens one lap in to the feature. He comes down off James Waring's car. Waring, I think, was going to actually be pretty well okay after that, until you have a passenger riding on top of your car there in Bob Fitzgerald. So both those cars able to drive away. Not sure what the damage will look like. We'll take another couple looks at this on the end of the backstretch. Again, this took a long time to develop. I'm a little surprised how long this took to actually happen, because I thought going into turn number 3 that they were going to be okay. We'll take another look up here at Adam Young. You'll see what I mean? Top of 4 wide. Great idea, taking that run until the guy in front of you. There's no 4 wide call on iRacing, and obviously myself and Tyler can both attest.
Yep.
You only get a 3 wide call. There is no, hey, you're top of 4, or hey, you're middle of 4, like 2 top, 1 bottom, like you'll get in NASCAR, for example. You don't get that on iRacing. Why? I don't know, to be quite frank with you. This service has been around long enough you'd think you'd get one. But for right there, James Waring, he probably just doesn't know he's 4 wide, to be completely honest. It's an honest mistake.
I agree with you, Dawson. I don't think so either. And especially, I mean, like how you said, Dawson, like I've been on the surface for over almost close to 10 years now. And that's the one thing I wish we had. I mean, especially if you have like an actual spotter, they can give you the 4 wide. But when you're going off of iRacing, all you hear is when you're in 3 wide, you don't know whether there's a 4. You have to hope that another driver would say that we're 4 wide. I mean, some drivers, I'll give good examples. Malik Ray, every so often Kyler Wynn, Trevor, like a lot of guys here that are in the super speedway, they know what to expect. They know when they're 4 and they will call out. But if you go to just a regular official race, you have to be very, very cautious of knowing when you're going 4, and you also have to be very, very aware on who's around you. Do they know if you're 4 wide? Because one mistake and it's trouble for everyone.
Well, it's trouble right there for Waring and Adam Young, and you actually made a good point between actual spotters and just guys that, race us all the time. You're talking to John Wards, you're talking to Matt Lees, you're talking to Daniel Falkinghams. A lot of us that do this a lot, and even myself, I don't race as much as I'd like to, but when I do, if you get 4 wide, I am keying up. I'm trying to tell everyone, hey, we're 4 wide as soon as it happens, so that stuff doesn't happen. Now, again, some of these guys just kind of know. You don't even have to call it out. They can see it. They can look. Some of these guys running triple monitors, you can see out that window, and you know when you're 4 wide. But for some, they kind of need a call, or you need an actual spotter. This weekend, you'll see a lot of guys that will have actual spotters and crew chiefs in their heat races or in the feature race or in their dual race, where they'll have a guy go up on the spotter stand in the session and be able to say, okay, you're 4 wide, here's where the run is coming from. It becomes really useful Yeah, I talked about it with Evan Pasoko back when we called the February race because he mentioned that as well. It's a big factor. It helps a lot more than the iRacing one does. Obviously, you get a little bit more information. And if you had that right there, we might have avoided one. Going back up front, back to live action. A lot of guys on pit road that time, but some have decided to stay out. Sean Corbett, first among them in that Ford Mustang. He'll inherit the lead. John Ward, that saved him. He wasn't even on the grid or on pit road when this race started, but somehow got that car out there. He'll run second. How about Mark Person? He stays out. He'll run third. And then from there, it's guys that came to pit road. Matt Lee in fourth, Dan Falkingham in fifth. Kyler Wynn in the sixth position. Trevor Osmond in seventh. Lana Velicki in eighth. With Jeff Merck in ninth. Brian Hennings in the 10th position. So we're going to go back green. It's only 4 laps in. It'll be lap 5 when we get the green flag. Kind of keeping track of where our new drivers are in this race in terms of drivers that can win a free entry. Again, as far as I'm aware, there are 6 of those on the line tonight. So I'm not even sure if we have 6 new drivers in the feature field.
And I believe it was set off as 3 in Heat 1 and 3 in Heat 2. I could be wrong, but that's what I heard.
Well, that's a little bit more information that obviously I was a little bit late to the party tonight that I did not have. So, hey, 3 in Heat 1, 3 in Heat 2. 6 entries total be given out tonight. Green flag back in the air. Corbett is off to the races. Great start for Corbett. The problem is his help did not get a good start behind him in Mark Person. He will be to his back bumper. Up top, Ward, Lee, Kyler Wynn, Velicki, and Hennings. They're more connected on the top side of the racetrack, and they're bailing for the outside. And as the field works off at 2, and Daniel Falkingham looks in the mirror, no help to be found back to his teammate Jeff Merck on the bottom 4th in line. John Ward rockets to the lead with the help of Matt Lee. I can't imagine that Matt Lee, Kyler Wynn, and Landon Velicki will stay there long as the field rises the banking in 3.
And it won't be for long either, as also Malik Gray is blinking like a Christmas tree as well. But these cars, the outside groove is the line you want to take because, look out, as Corbett went sideways. I believe that was Josh McCullough. Actually, no, Mark Pearson having a fall back to the middle as they are scattering 4 wide down the tri-oval.
How about 2 rows 4 wide back around Sierra Clamper? We make it work somehow. Malik Ray still blinking back there. You see that black, yellow, and white one car. He keeps popping in and out of existence. Now he's completely gone, and that may be a death blow to the internet connection of Malik Ray.
Yep, iRacing has sent Malik Ray to the pits for connection issues.
That's the first time in PGR history that, Brian Hennings, Landon Velicki had a moment there going into 3. They all save it. Oh, Kenny Real, goodness, just threw a monster block on the 17 of Matheson. They're everywhere here at the front. It's the first time in PGR history, by the way, I think we've had the connection black flag given out during the race. Malik Ray, as much as he was the first SummerSlam champ, he's also the first of the connection black flag. Contact up front, Falkingham in the back of Corbett, Velicki and Osmond to the outside. That's a pair of Jack Shack cars. They run to the outside of John Ward. 3 wide from 3rd on back. It's crazy racing up the banking in 1. Falkingham, Merck teammates on the bottom. In the middle, it's Matt Lee pushing John Ward on the top side. Osmond pushes Velicki, and Sean Corbett looks in his mirror, and he sees an angry pack of cars behind him.
Oh, and they are trying to side draft block immensely as we are now 3 by 3. My goodness, Corbett. And they are 4 wide now further
2
back.
Rows again.
That contact.
2 rows of 4 wide again. How about Corbett and Kyler Wynn? Brian Hennings, the odd man out now, 3rd in line. This is the second time we're going to try 2 rows of 4 wide. And for the second time tonight, it works out. These guys putting on a show just 7 laps into this one. Velicki and Osmond, the Jack Shack teammates, get the best of that. Josh McCullough comes forward to 3rd. And it's new driver Hunter East in that DuPont Chevy that comes forward to 4th. But not for long. Here come Matt Lee, John Ward, Daniel Falkingham, and Jeff Merck on the bottom. That top line saw him coming. They come down to side draft, and here they come to the push. Oh, Velicki, Osmond goes sideways. Osmond's in the wall. McCullough's in the wall. Mark Persons around there crashing out back.
And massive crash. Oh, big hit by
Adam
someone
Young,
way further back.
Jambroni, Tom Dixon.
And someone hits
Derek
the inside
Turner,
wall hard on the left-hand side.
Adam Young. Jambroni's got a wheel that's off. Tom Dixon is in it. You see him right here. Derek Turner. Mitch Regatas is involved. Tobias Matheson is involved. Mark Person. Jackson Byes' engine is expiring on that 33, so his night is over.
Bagley involved as well.
And Bagley, I don't even see Bagley on track. I believe this crash has phased Miles Bagley out of existence. I don't even see the 87 car on track anymore. But a big crash. This is going to claim a lot of them. And this is, I don't even, it's hard to even tell you where this one started because we could have named about 6 different places. It really is going to kick off up front. We saw this happen live as Trevor Oswernoth and Josh McCullough got together up at the front. Actually, it was Oswernoth and Veliky. Boy, weird moment there for, I believe that's Derek Turner. And that's who that McDonald's car was that I was talking about earlier. We're focused back here on Kyler Wynn and Austin Green. But it's going to trigger up in front of them. Watch the 62, that all-black car, and then Trevor Oswernoth behind him. You see Oswernoth gets out of shape. Veliky's out of shape. Oswernoth's going to really clobber the outside wall. We're going to have to check for damage on that car.
And just from what I'm seeing, Derek Turner, that 63, well, he's in a Bubba Wallace McDonald's paint scheme, but Pearson was just sitting up and straddling both the middle and high groove, and whoever was behind Derek Turner just was like shoved Turner all the way into Mark Pearson. That was a huge hit as well.
Oh, Tom Dixon, he gets the wall big time right there in the 411. He actually catapults into Jambroni. Kenny McCullough got hit by Adam Young. Regattas, oh, I thought he missed it for a moment. He did not. He gets a piece of it too. There's Turner and Pearson. And this is going to be 10-plus cars that at least have damage out of this, and I'm counting Josh McCullough, Landon Veliky, and Trevor Oswernoth as well that were up front when this started, and it just kind of made its way further to the back, and this was about as much of a scramble as you can have. Again, we're going to go up top because I think it's the best way to kind of show you just how much happens before Mark Pearson gets turned. Watch up ahead. You're going to see just for a brief moment Trevor Oswernoth go into the outside wall, and it just ricochets back from there and collects a lot of cars out back here that were 3 wide that had nowhere to go. Watch up front. See that green car? That's Oswernoth. Veliky actually is going to be no worse for wear, but Oswernoth is going to bounce off the outside wall. There's McCullough, and these guys out back, and I can attest as a driver, you're on the brakes. Mark Pearson's on the brakes. He's doing the right thing. Ooh, Kyler Wynn actually tail whips Jackson Wise. That's what got him out of shape. He's going to clobber the inside wall. But Pearson's doing the right thing. He's hitting the brakes. That's what we're all taught. It's sort of our instinct when a wreck happens, and he just gets hit from behind by Derek Turner.
Right.
And boy,
yeah,
from
and
there,
Jambroni was right behind, and Jambroni was right behind Derek Thorne, and I don't think he realized what was happening. All he could see is just the front bump or the rear bumper of Derek Turner, and just wallops him into Mark Pearson as well, and that was already rough for both of them. Jambroni took an extra hit as well while he was also crashing in that.
And Mitch Regattas, you saw him get involved. Same with Dixon and Young. We'll have to check those cars. Same with the Derek Turner machine to see the damage extent. I don't know how bad it is. It may very well, they may have gotten away with it in some degree. Now, again, that's saying a lot, but regardless, they may have gotten away with at least something here. Watch Kyler Wynn and Jackson Byes on the inside. Oh, man, Kyler Wynn, that wasn't even involved in the crash. Kyler Wynn just trying to miss it. Tail whipped the 33 and got him down. He clobbered the inside wall. He had the most damage, I think, in terms of inside the car of anybody. And look at Miles Bagley. Him and Malik Ray, I think, were the luckiest ones. They were already towards the back, and their connection issues had actually forced them out of the draft and allowed both of them to miss this incident without problem. So for Malik Ray and Miles Bagley, that is a huge break that they got some internet problems when they did, because they were able to miss that crash there on the back straightaway. But 8 to 10 cars were not able to miss it. In fact, closer to 12 are going to be involved in this one out of a 30-car starting field. So let's re-rack and restack. It's Matt Lee that runs out front in front of Daniel Falkingham here on row number 1. Then it's John Ward and Landon Veliky on row 2. Jeff Merck, Brock Westmoreland on row number 3. Row 4 is guys save fuel. They're making it no easier for me. Actually, they're letting Malik Ray go by with the wave around after his internet problems. Row 4, I think, is going to be Brian Hennings and Sierra Clampert. Row 5, Kenny Reel and Austin East. Or, excuse me, Hunter East, not Austin East. Hunter East. Actually, row 4 will be Hennings and Reel. Row 5 is going to be Larry McDonald and Sierra Clampert. So, Clampert, McDonald inside the top 10 for the first time. Clampert, I believe, the biggest mover. Nope, sorry. Corbett plus 15. Clampert plus 13. Plus 12 for Kenny Reel as well. Plus 10 for Hunter East, who, boy, he almost led laps on that last run of the DuPont Chevy, but is stuck back now in 12th position in the mid-pack. So 19 laps to go, but I'll tell you what, before that crash happened, these guys were putting on a show. These races have been good. Don't get me wrong. They've been really good. Last night's was about as good as it gets. If you haven't watched that one, go check it out. But that, with 2 rows of 4 wide and guys shuffling all over the place and throwing their car in every gap they could find, that was really awesome stuff and just gives us a sneak peek of what we're going to see coming up this weekend.
Absolutely. And then, like, before all the wrecks that happened earlier, like I was going to say, like, these cars, you'll see a lot of people, especially the top tier guys, will be driving up on the outside wall just to protect their right rear. The right rear is so sensitive when it comes to aero here at this track that it makes a big difference as we're getting ready to get into the restart zone now, actually.
Well, 19 laps to go. This race simulating, by the way, the distance of the heat races Thursday, Friday, and Saturday afternoon. It's 30 laps in distance, so this is the sprint you're going to get used to. Matt Lee, he got jacked up on the restart, spun his tires in front of John Ward. Top lane goes really, really well. 4 cars clear, almost 5 back to Clampert. Look at Hunter East. Through the middle comes the DuPont. Chevy in the middle of Lee and Clampert. Nobody going to his aid, though, so he'll go backwards as soon as he got there. But he'll be able to jump in right behind the 36 of Clampert. Outside still moving, inside still trying to get it going with Matt Lee. He's 5th. They do have 4 cars lined up. There goes John Ward. He hooks a right. Brian Hennings hooks a right. And that is lonesome right there for Matt Lee and Jeff Burke. Kenny McCullough is there, but 9 car lengths back is the Valvoline Chevy. They're waiting on their help.
Behind. Austin Green around.
Trying to crash. Austin Green was around back here in the 53, and unfortunately a 1-car incident, off track, no caution. But the way these guys are racing up front, or the way they have been racing, I can't imagine that's going to last. So Austin Green, he'll be right back in this one as well in that 53 machine. Up front, we're going to log laps. What in the world is this? It's like it's 2013 restrictor plate racing with everybody up against the safer barrier. Well, besides Matt Lee and Jeff Merck, the NBG duo down on the bottom side. They're going to come down to side draft. Oh, my goodness. This is almost salt in the wound for Matt Lee and Jeff Merck, who already have no help. Falkingham and company saw them coming on the tandem. And what did that do? It split them up, and now they're really going backwards. Mitch Regatta's going to pick them up. Boy, smoke down here in turn 3. Not sure who that car was. It was smoking up ahead. And the field works off turn 4. It's Daniel Falkingham that leads the way, but the bottom's trying to get back. But single file for the most part. Of course, that was never going to last long. Here comes John Ward to the bottom.
Yep, John Ward to the bottom. Going to have 4. I'm going to have 4 people going, and Bice is just putzing around right now as he is smoking up a storm. Everyone's still trying to keep things going, but yeah, it's single, well, not really single file, but one on the low line, one on the high line as here they come again. The high line coming down to put some air on the right side of the inside line as here we go. We're about to go 3 wide now. Sierra Climpett stuck in the middle here, and she is going to be all by her lonesome.
I mean, Hunter East looks like he's done this a time or two because he is just ruthless on the right rear quarter panel, trying to split 3 wide everywhere he goes. Now Hennings, though, going to give him a taste of his own medicine. He'll go to the middle of that 24 machine. So East, though, looks pretty experienced for a guy we really don't know his name, but he's doing all the right things so far. Oh, look at Kenny Reel trying to get out around Brock Westmoreland. You knew Brian Hennings wasn't going to let that happen in the Team PGR entry. Nope. And now Hennings, McCullough up on the outside. Westmoreland actually ends up better off. He ends up 3rd in the middle. Reel ends up 4th in the middle. And guess who? Hunter East comes through 5th in the middle, although he's got help now from Clampert, trying to shoot the gap between Hennings and Adam Young, who's back in this lead pack. Up front, still Ward on the push from Falkingham. Now Brock Westmoreland gets a little aggressive with the right rear quarter panel, but Landon Velicki, we saw last night in the recruitment race, he blocks that 99% of the time, so Westmoreland going to have to either go to the left or try to catch Velicki sleeping, which doesn't happen a lot now, though. Inside line's got a lot of cars. What does Westmoreland do? Right as I say he should go to the left, he turns left and goes to the bumper of Matt Lee. How about the run from the 4 car? He's going to want to turn at the lead here off of 4.
Absolutely. Brock's always one of those sleeper picks as well. You never know what to expect with him. If he can get a huge run, he can absolutely catch people off guard. The one thing is he's going to have to continue fighting hard. He's got to get a few more cars in line as we do have a set of 3 falling off. Tobias Matheson, Kyler Wyndham, or Malik Ray falling off this lead pack. But don't count them out yet, because the way these guys are fighting, anything can happen at this point. As Hunter East is like flirting with that outside wall. My goodness.
Well, he just grabbed the right rear quarter panel, one of the most veteran drivers in the field, Kenny McCullough. Hunter East taking 0 prisoners in this lead pack in that 24. Inside still trying to come forward. The benefit for Brock Westmoreland here is he's got one of the most aggressive pushers on his back bumper. That's Matt Lee in the Martin Sports Camry. Outside, look at Hunter East again, although that one backfires on him just a little bit. He'll go backwards to the right rear quarter panel of Sean Corbett. as he continues to try to work his way forward. In the middle now, Lee went around Westmoreland. He's got Merck with him, his teammate. Sierra Clampert is with them. So is Sean Corbett. Trouble out back. Mitch Regattas off the bumper of Josh McCullough. Can he make the save? You bet he can. How about that save from the 0-5? Oh, no, they're going to have to split behind him. Wynn, Matheson, Ray, they all go around him. But now with bridge cars, those three should be able to catch the draft. And, boy, with Kyler Wynn and Malik Ray in that group, Tobias Matheson, no slouch either. They're actually going to pick up a fourth car here in Josh McCullough. That is not good news for the lead pack. Those are going to be 4 fast race cars. Going back to the leaders. Up front, John Ward, Daniel Falkingham, Landon Veliky, Kenny Reel, top 4 on the top. Hunter East has come forward to 5th on the outside. Bottom is shuffled. Brian Hennings now leads it with Matt Lee. And Jeff Merck in tow as they, again, man, it's like they worked so hard to get back to the leaders. They got to regroup it again here into turn number 1. John Ward's loving what he's seeing, though, right now. No challenge for the lead. Here comes a huge push on the bottom. Brian Hennings shot out of a cannon. They're going to be there off of 2.
Yeah, and here's Ward and the top 3 of the second line just coming down to try to slow up that side draft. So one thing with these Gen 6 cars is if you get a huge run, if you see the bottom lane having a huge run, if you're that top lane, you have to come down to that middle line and just give them a whole bunch of air on that side draft. As you see again, look at how close it is. They side by side for a little bit actually as Brian Hennings on that low side as the Doring is getting even more aggressive. As Hunter East goes 3 wide on Kenny Reel and he takes a spot. What? Who is this guy?
Exactly. That's what I was going to ask is who is this guy? Hunter East is throwing left and right hooks like he's been in this for, the last 3 years since we started this money racing thing. Kenny Reel, he's got a teammate 2 cars in front of him. He's going to be willing to try to get back around that 24. Can't imagine he's too happy with him either. But boy, for Hunter East, what a move. Here's Matt Lee again in the middle. They hang Hennings out. Man, make it 2 for 2 on PGR cars. They've hung out. Corbett to the bottom, 4 wide around Brian Hennings. Sean Corbett and Larry McDonald. They've got Sierra Clampert going with them. The bottom lane starts to regroup again. Brian Hennings just went from the lead a lap ago to the tail end of the lead pack here off of turn number 4. Tough break for the 74. Here comes Matt Lee. They're going to regroup that bottom lane. And Hunter East now 4th on the top. If you're Landon Veliky, this is exactly where I'm going to run for pretty much the rest of the race. I'm guarding my right rear quarter panel, but you also got to guard your middle because Hunter East, ruthless. I wouldn't be surprised if he turns left onto Matt Lee's bumper if he gets a chance into turn 1. Look at Kenny Reel going down, maybe to side draft. I think, though, he's going to try to split, but they're tandem on the bottom. And this, you talked about a moment ago, the side draft that you have to do. When that bottom gets tandem, if you don't do it before they get there, they are going to drive to the lead. And the NBG cars right there almost did. Austin Green going 1 lap down. He'll need a caution now to get back into it. They'll side draft. That tandem doesn't work as good as possible. And John Ward continues to lead. Hey, if you're the 92 to the 39, this has been pretty well easy for you 1-2 right now.
Yeah, but I would start being very, very situational awareness as, oh my goodness, we're 3 wide again as this is getting just absolutely insane. I think these guys need to start worrying. Austin Green is now a bridge for Kyler Wynn, Malik Ray, and Tobias Matheson. You do not want these guys getting back up in this pack. If they do, everyone's in trouble. I can tell you that now, as there goes Daniel Falkingham into the inside line, trying to make a run on John Ward, as Falkingham's going to lead the inside lane now, with having Matt Lee giving him a big push on the inside. A lot more cars on the inside line, but I think they're aware that Kyler Wynn and Malik Ray are in this pack now.
I was just going to mention it. You said it would be bad if they caught the pack. I said it was going to be when they caught the pack. They are on the tail end. Ray, Matheson, Wynn, and Josh McCullough have caught up. They used Austin Green as a bridge. On the inside, that's now a trio of NBG Motorsports entries. Daniel Falkingham, Matt Lee, and Jeff Merck on the bottom side. So some team chemistry on the bottom. Up top, Ward, Veliky, Hunter East, and Kenny Reel. By virtue of Falkingham clearing out that bottom lane, it would allow Hunter East to go to 3rd on the bottom, but not for long. Look at that push off turn 2. Falkingham to the race lead. Lead a 2nd, but now they can't get set back up. They couldn't get re-centered, and because of that, here comes the outside again. Veliky cooled off. He got back to the back bumper of John Ward. Ward down to side draft, but look at how high Veliky has to run because he has to respect Hunter East, potentially trying to grab his right rear. He'll have a pick here, though, with Tom Dixon. He won't be able to do it. Pit stops. I didn't even know we were going to make green flag pit stops in this race.
I forgot to remind you. Most of the fuel stops are about 15. Oh, my goodness.
Malik Ray put 2 tires in the grass. Got to hope that wasn't a penalty.
I hope not either. But also, too, these cars, they only put enough fuel in for roughly 15 laps. I forgot about to remind you about that too, because I thought we were going to have to pit during the heat race as well. So green flag pit stops are a definite right now, as it's going to shake things up, as we got a slow car they're catching up to right now for this lead pack.
Actually,
I believe that is Mark Pearson.
Well, and it helped him a little bit because Pearson gave him a bit of a draft tow there as this group gets ready to pit. It's actually going to help them. The group that was on pit road, by the way, was Falkingham, Lee, Ray, Wynn, McCullough, and Merck. Those are the cars that came down. Here comes the rest of the front pack.
Oh,
Ward,
they're wrecking.
Veliky, East. They're trying to wreck. Sierra Clampert is around on pit road. Can she get it saved underneath her? Yes, we're about 4 wide on pit road. Clampert got it saved, and they're all into their pit boxes safe and sound. So far, John Ward gets hit by Hunter East, but luckily for him, out of box, I think, further down pit road, so they're going to be no harm, no foul. And this group will now try to beat that first one off of pit road. Adam Young, oh, man, I think he missed his box. Did the 7. Yeah. Kenny Reel's off and running. Hennings, Westmoreland, and this group is well connected. Now we got to look.
Adam Young is spinning.
Oh, Adam Young spinning coming off pit road. We're watching this group. We're trying to get back to Adam Young.
He's back on the low line.
He's back going. Let's get to the Daniel Falkingham group because they're coming up on these leaders. Hunter East, that's a tough break. He's going to lose that front draft here on the pit stop. So too, it looks like, is Clampert. So too will McDonald and Corbett. Everyone else from there, look at Westmoreland and McCullough. They're pushing hard. I think they're going to catch on. If they can stay tandemed up here down the back stretch, I think they're going to catch on to the tail end.
They should be able to.
And from there, you got that group of 4 in front of them. Actually, well, it's a group of 4. Yeah, Regatas is not pit. He's coming to pit road, you'd imagine, this time by as he comes off turn 4. He will not. He will stay out, so this is going to make things a little bit interesting. A group of 4 together. That's Veliky, Reel, Ward, and Hennings. Then it's the Falkingham group. And then we'll have to wait and see if Brock Westmoreland and Josh McCullough have caught, and they have, the back end of that second group. So when all's said and done, it's going to be 13 cars, actually 12 cars, not counting Mitch Regatas, unless he's already made his pit stop, but I don't know.
And I don't know if Westmoreland and McCullough is going to be able to hang on. They are losing the draft.
Now they are losing.
Actually fell out of the bubble. They needed to be within a second, as these guys up front now are already starting to throw haymakers at each other. Brian Hennings got left out to dry, and they are still throwing haymakers at each other here in the front row.
And what this is going to do is it's actually might just give Westmoreland and McCullough a lifeline. It's as close as you can get to that draft bubble. But as these guys start racing like crazy up here, that's going to allow that 2-car tandem to start to catch. Trouble almost between Kenny McCullough and Malik Ray. That was close. Another help for Josh McCullough and Brock Westmoreland, but they have already lost the bubble, and it appears they have lost the draft as well. Larry McDonald, Sean Corbett, Sierra Clampert, Hunter East, Madison, Young, Bagley, they've all lost the draft as well. They'll need a caution. Up front, Lee on the bottom. On the outside, it's Falkingham with Veliky. He's got Reel, his teammate, with him. Several sets of teammates in this front pack. Lee, Merck, and Falkingham go for MBG. Veliky and Reel for the Jack Shack. There was a teammate for Brian Hennings with Brock Westmoreland, but he has lost the draft. And, of course, you have Kyler and Malik that run together. John Ward solo in this group. Kenny McCullough solo in this group. Mitch Regatas a wild card, but I think he still has to pit.
Yeah, either he still has to pit. Actually, I'm going to look. Yeah, he still has to pit. He's only been on. He last pitted on lap 9, so he is kind of going to be out of this group. He's got to hope for a caution for anything to happen, but I mean, Merck's just hanging in there on the outside line. Everyone's doing everything. Oh man, sorry, Don. I know Don's about to Don's about to punch me right now, as we are 2 by 2 going down the start backstretch. As these guys are kind of calmed down for the time being.
Well, they don't have a ton of cars, and that tends to help. And you don't have 25 cars worth of energy. The moves get a little bit smaller, but I guarantee you, in the next couple laps, they will start to pick up once again. Lee on the bottom, pushed by Malik Ray. Topside, Falkingham pushed by Veliky. And there goes Regatas. He's going to dive to pit road. He'll make his service. That means it will be 10 cars to solve this one from Talladega. 3 laps to go at the line. Couple sets of teammates, as we mentioned. Where will the teammates go? Obviously, NBG likes the way this lines up with their guys on the front row. But back from them, 2 Jack Shack cars lined up. Those are the cars I am watching. Remember, 24 hours ago, the Jack Shack scored a 1-2-3 finish in last night's recruitment race with Flanagan, Osmond, and Mastretta. Veliky and Reel looking to carry the banner, but Kenny McCullough looking to say something about it. He talked about going 3 wide. A couple cars up in front of the lead pack as well. Bagley and the 3 of Keith Prince, they're going to dive out of the way, go to the safety of the wall, and I don't blame them with how hard this racing's going to be. When we get back to the line, it's 2 laps to go in this one, and the Jack Shack cars are clear. When will they make their move?
I would say next lap, either next lap or on the backstretch, because it's go time. As you can see, everyone jumping up to the wall now. Only 3 cars on that inside line as Daniel Folkingham is just commanding this lead. Here goes a few more cars. There goes the 03 coming down. Folkingham losing a lot of momentum, but Veliky right on his back bumper, keeping that momentum up, trying to keep the rest of these guys, John Ward, all by himself, and it fell apart quick for John Ward.
I mean, this is playing right into the hands of those 2 Jack Shack cars running 2-3. Now Brian Henning cycles to 4th. You got to watch for him. Hennings loves this kind of draft package as well as get to score a win. These are really, other than Daniel Folkingham, those 2, 3, 4 cars are guys looking for a win in this style of racing that really could use one, and Veliky and Reel to me are in the best spot. At the line, white flag, 1 lap to go at Talladega.
1 lap to go, and Kenny Reel's already backing off. You know Kenny Reel is trying to save all of his temps. Hennings is trying not to allow him to do that. Hennings is right on his bumper. Here comes the momentum for Kenny Reel. As soon as Kenny Reel gets on the back bumper of Veliky, they are diving to the inside and be ready for it.
Here we go, down the backstretch for the final time in this recruitment race. Lane and Veliky try to tandem away. They're going to crash. Hennings goes sideways, makes the save. The Jack Shack car still in a good spot, but now McCullough goes to the inside. Veliky may have to win this one by himself. Hennings wrecks behind the leaders. Up front, Veliky, you got to decide where to go. Now he's got a teammate with him. Malik Ray trying to bully his way through the middle. Veliky's got to make a move. Outside, yes. Doesn't work. Folkingham throws the block. Goes back to the bottom. He throws the block again. Through the tri-oval, no competition. Daniel Folkingham wins the final recruitment race at Talladega.
What a finish, too. That was really close. Veliky was trying to get on his back bumper and get on the right rear, just could not get there in time.
So Daniel Folkingham, lacking just 1 crown jewel achievement in his PGR career, goes off into the SummerSlam with a win to start his race week. Veliky comes home 3rd, and it really was just because they never got connected, did those 2 teammates, Veliky and Reel. Malik Ray almost spoils the party, comes all the way forward to 2nd, and so does Kyler Wynn. Kyler Wynn ended up 5th. He lost the draft and somehow ended up P5 in this race. A lot of great stories further back as well. Top 10s for Corbett and for Larry McDonald after Brian Hennings had a crash in turn 3. And boy, I mean, again, if you liked what you saw, we're going to see a lot of it this weekend. That was a lot of fun. You see Veliky, he's going to probably do some donuts here. But it's Daniel Folkingham coming away with the win. We'll allow him to celebrate here on the front stretch. So Folkingham will complete his celebration as he goes into the SummerSlam weekend with a win in this recruitment race. Another wild one here at Talladega. We'll go quickly through your finishing results, then we'll get set for top 3 interviews as we wait for those guys to filter into the waiting room. We'll go quickly through your top 30 results from this feature. Daniel Folkingham finishes 1st. Malik Ray in the 2nd spot. Landon Veliky 3rd. Kenny Reel in 4th. And Kyler Wynn in the 5th spot. John Ward finishes 6th tonight. Jeff Merck in 7th. Josh McCullough 8th. Sean Corbett 9th. Larry McDonald in 10th. Brock Westmoreland goes 11th. Sierra Clampert, welcome back to PGR. She goes 12th. Matt Lee 13th. Brian Hennings 14th. Hunter East, boy, I can't imagine he made many friends if he's going to race this weekend, but certainly showed some things to some of the top dogs of the money racing scene. He goes 15th tonight. Tobias Matheson in 16th in his PGR return. 17th is Kenny McCullough. 18th, Miles Bagley. 19th, Mitch Regattas. 20th, Keith Prince. 21st, Adam Young. 22nd, Austin Green. 23rd, Mark Person. 24th, Tom Dixon. 25th, Jackson Bice. 26th, Trevor Osbornoff. 27th, Josh Jambroni. 28th, Derek Turner. 29th, James Waring. And Bob Fitzgerald, final car on the field. We're going to go grab your top 3 for some interviews. Still waiting on one of the 3 to get into the waiting room. So we'll take a quick break. When we come back, it's top 3 interviews for you from Talladega Superspeedway. Stay with us. You're watching PGR eSports. Welcome back to Talladega Superspeedway. Starting into the podium interviews from tonight's final recruitment race for the SummerSlam 499. We're going to start with the man who finished 3rd. Had a look at the win. Doesn't really go his way, but got to be some good momentum going into the SummerSlam 499. It's Landon Veliky in the 62. We'll get him up here to get his post-race interview. Landon, it's the boys in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, you can almost hear the smile on your face. I imagine, number 1, that was fun, but number 2, it's a good finish and good momentum. Obviously, we found out today you'll be entering the SummerSlam 499. 3rd place finish in the recruitment race. Got to feel pretty good headed into the weekend.
Oh yeah, I mean, these cars are my best cars by far. The way these cars draft, like this in the ARCA car, love them. They're fun. It's great to, it's just great to race. I feel like this is a car where kind of the boys get separated from the men in a way, especially with how hot the track temp was tonight with pit road stops and everything. It's one of the most challenging cars in pit road stops, and me and Kenny and Ward and somebody else, I mean, we just had an excellent pit stop, whatever it was, a few laps ago, and that's really what put us in the position. But it helped anyway, where we were just up there and being calm, being patient the whole race, and we were scheming something there at the end. What just caught us off guard was out of 4, the run that Malik and Kyler got was huge. And I don't think we saw that coming. I think Malik just backed up to his bumper or whatever, and that's good for him. I mean, that's smart, but I just didn't see that coming after the stack ups going on in the back. But yeah, every other recruitment race I've done, and for this SummerSlam, I've just gotten wrecked on lap 1 of my heat race. So guess finally get to come out here and get a good finish for once.
Well, look, now we look forward to this weekend. Obviously, the SummerSlam 499. This was the last chance to be on track in this kind of setting for all the drivers that will be racing this weekend. We know you will be one of them. What is your personal confidence level, and kind of what do you expect out of that first heat race? Do you expect something like this race where it's all kind of up on the wheel at all times? Do you expect a little bit more of a feeling out process? Kind of, take me through your mindset headed into this biggest weekend of the summer for PGR.
I honestly couldn't even tell you, because I know for our heat races, like I just said, the 3 others I've done, I got trashed within the first lap of every one by, I'm trying to find the nice words of putting this, but by, let's just say, some lack of awareness on some drivers' parts. And that's just, I mean, that's just what it is. It's like, you're going to have that And a car like this, where the runs are so big, if you don't know how to handle those, and if you're like middle of the pack somewhere in the back there, your chances of getting wrecked out are pretty high. So it's going to be all about track position, track position, track position for me the whole time, which normally always is for me anyway. But especially in a car like this, I got to find myself around people I know and trust to actually work with and be around. Which, like tonight, but tonight was a great example of that. Like Kyler, Malik, Dan, Kenny, all my teammates. Like it's just the people up front that you can trust them, and they're most likely going to keep you safe. And what concerns me is maybe some newer people not as experienced in these cars that could lead maybe to some issues. And I don't really want to be in that, but on the other side of that token, that couldn't happen at all. So I mean, who knows? I don't know. It's been a long day for me, and I'm just kind of ranting at this point. But I'm just happy to finally get a solid finish in.
On solid it was. Third place for you is going to be the final result for you. Before we go racing this weekend, before we let you go and enjoy it a little bit, start to prepare for this weekend SummerSlam 499. Anybody you'd like to thank or shout out?
You for broadcasting. I know you had a lot on your plate tonight. What do we have? 3 broadcasts tonight on PGR? That's crazy. We had you, obviously, Mike for dealing with the whole show, especially Mike, especially. Obviously Baker's still being deployed and everything. A lot of it's falling onto Mike and having to keep up with everything and whatnot. And he's doing a great job of that. Jack Shack, like I said, those are as the team right there. I thank my good buddy Josh Giambroni for coming back. It's been great having him back the past 2 nights. I don't know. I guess that's it. Shout out my parents for watching. I know my dad's probably still watching right now because he texts me immediately after it, like he normally does, whether it's good or bad. No, I like getting those texts either way. But yeah, I don't know. I guess that's it.
A third place finish for you tonight, Landon. Congratulations on the effort. Thanks for talking to us for a second. Go enjoy it. Go celebrate. We'll talk to you this weekend for the SummerSlam 499.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
Landon Velicky, third place finisher tonight. We'll move now to the man on the second step of the podium. The defending winner of the PGR SummerSlam 499 gets a second place, trying to repeat and win himself another belt. It's Malik Ray in the one machine. He finishes second, and Malik stands by with my partner, Tyler Vickery.
Absolutely. And Malik, you definitely got a copy there, right, bud? Malik, you had a copy with us, bud?
No, I said yeah. I said, hey, how you doing?
Oh, we didn't hear you at first.
Oh, my fault.
Well, we know how the race started for you in the feature. Had it looked like a little bit of internet connection there that you had to deal with. Missed the grid, but what a comeback for you, though. Getting ready to prepare for defending your championship. Well, I guess you could say the SummerSlam 499 win from last year. What a way to showcase it tonight, especially after having to start from way back in the field, getting the lucky cautions. How's that feel for getting all your preparedness and stuff ready for the SummerSlam?
It feels good, man. It feels good. I just try to make sure I stay clean in these races and just try to make sure that I just stay out of trouble. And unfortunately, I had some internet issues tonight, but hopefully that gets it gets cleared up and we should be good from there.
We've seen already, even in past PGR nights for the Thursday Intimidator series, you and Kyler Wynn always working together. That thought process with that last lap, being able to check up a little bit to get Kyler that push, was that push just planned, or were you trying to figure out a different way in case Landon decided to come down and try to spoil the party for you?
No, I was trying to go with Kenny down the back straightaway because he got up and he got clear of us, and then he didn't get lined up with Brian down the back straightaway, and then that kind of killed the whole plan as far as that. Because I was gonna push him, and Kyler was gonna push me because I was gonna push him, and then once that happened, then we kind of didn't have a choice but to go high, and we went high, and then I think Kenny he drifted up the track because he thought I was gonna go to his outside, and it kind of just left open the middle, so I just kept my wheel straight, and Kyler kept pushing me, and I was able to get P2 with the help of him and Dan, so I appreciate both of them.
Yeah, and it looked like ended up beating Landon Velicky by only like 0.02 of a second. It was very, very close finish. Looking forward to the SummerSlam 499. Just your thought process with how the heat races and everything is going for how you going to process everything, knowing that you are going to be going in as the defending winner from last year's SummerSlam.
I just hope we get green flag pit stops. If we get green flag pit stops, it'll be a pretty clear cut race. So I just hope we get those, get everybody nice and spread out, and it'll just be, you know, I guess just who can make the least amount of mistakes on and off pit road.
Well, we wish you luck there for the heat races, depending on what heat race you get placed in. Any final sponsor shout outs and everything for you before we let you go?
I appreciate Kyler for his help, and I appreciate Dan and his team for their help, and you guys for broadcasting, and Mike for putting this on.
Absolutely, Malik. Will enjoy that second place finish, especially with the last recruitment race before the SummerSlam 499 heats, and wish you all the luck there. And who knows, maybe we'll see you in a week's time, where have a chance at potentially defending your belt here again.
Thanks, man. I hope so.
Absolutely. And Dawson, that was Malik Ray for you, as I know you're getting ready to stand by with our winner of the recruitment race for tonight, Daniel Falkingham.
Yeah, absolutely. Two guys in very, I would say, different spots, but also very similar. Malik Ray defending his belt. Daniel Falkingham, the belt is all he really needs to cement an incredible PGR career that he has had. Tonight's a good start. He gets the win. It's Daniel Falkingham in PGR victory lane for the recruitment race. Let's get the driver of the 39 up into the broadcast booth. Hey, Dan, it's the boys in the booth. You got a copy?
Hello, I got you.
Well, boy, this one was about as chaotic as it can get. And these recruitment races have been good. And they have been really, really edge-of-your-seat racing, constant big moves and blocks, and got to have your brain turned on at all times. Tonight, though, it felt like another level. 4 wide a number of times, guys throwing huge moves, but it all looked, to me, somewhat controlled. And you get another victory under your belt heading into the SummerSlam 499. Take me through your night and how you got to victory lane at Talladega.
Yeah, I just gotta say, I think it's the first ever recruitment race I've won, so we got that checked off the list, I guess. But now I was surprised that, because the heats, they were definitely a mess to race just from watching them and being in them. So I thought the feature was gonna be the same way, but I think we only had 1 or 2 cautions, and we actually got a green flag pit stop. And we had that tonight, and we had that I think last night too. So, or it was one of the nights the last week that we had a green flag stop. But overall, pretty good race, and I'm glad to come out on top. Hopefully gives us a little bit of momentum going into SummerSlam week. So glad to be able to win this one, and even better to do it in the Voodoo Donut paint scheme that old Evan Carbond has painted up for me this week. So only all the real ones know where that come from. So now feels cool to win the car, get the first victory out of the way for the new paint right there, and hopefully we can repeat that, and hopefully it's a preview for Sunday.
Yeah, now obviously we start to look forward. The recruitment races are over. The road is complete. And all that's now left to do is wait to see which heat you get placed in. We'll know that tomorrow going into Thursday night. What is the confidence level for you personally? Yeah, we obviously know you've got some teammates going into this. We've got guys registered as well that you know very well on track, much like in February when you went on to win the PGR 500 with the help of Matthew Zwack. So you've got guys in this event coming up that you know. You've got teammates as well. What is your confidence level that you can go to victory lane and hoist the championship belt on Sunday afternoon?
Yeah, man, no confidence is high, but as always, it's still gonna be tricky because you got the heat races. That's what I'm most scared about, the heat races, because only 10 guys get through, and I think if we can get through the heats just fine, then I feel like the duels will be a piece of cake. But I still got to do my job to advance, get to the race Sunday, then hopefully everything will take care of itself. But yeah, just not gonna get too ahead of myself. I want to just make it through the heats, make it through the qualifiers, the duels, and I want to make sure we're on the grid Sunday afternoon, and then I'll start try to think about trying to win the race. But yeah, like I said, it's definitely gonna be tricky. I got a lot of good buddies that are gonna be in there, and definitely gonna count on them for sure. And hopefully we can get the job done. Hopefully we just get it done through the heats and duels, because that's gonna be the real tricky part.
Well, absolutely, and kind of one more thing before we get into the shout-outs, I do want to ask, I've kind of been harping on this the last few weeks. It feels like the championship belt, the SummerSlam 499 championship belt, is really at this point all you lack in what has been an illustrious start to your PGR career. We've talked about the stats a million times. PGR 500 champion, that was the first annual race. PGR champion for 2024. A multi-time PGR winner, one of the winningest drivers in series history. You're now a Tuesday Night Thunder champion as of a couple weeks ago. We could tack off all these accolades that you've got in your PGR career. The one that you don't have yet is the SummerSlam 499. Is that thought gone through your head at all? Is that something you've thought about? Kind of reflect on what that means as well. If you're able to get the job done, there's really not much else for you to win on the PGR circuit.
Yeah, the only thing on my mind right now is trying to win that belt, because that's a beautiful looking belt that they're doing now. And I saw what Malik won last year, and I really wanted to add to the old collection behind me and show it off and whatnot. But definitely, I mean, I have thought about it a little bit, because I realized I haven't even been here for a full year, and to see how much I've won, see how much we've accomplished so far along the way has been pretty cool. But yeah, right now all my focus is win or lose, we're going to go have a good time, but all my eyes are focused on is just trying to win that belt and have for myself. So hopefully we can complete the feat.
Well, obviously now we look forward to that event. Certainly high on the list of favorites is where you will be come this weekend. Tonight, though, you're in PGR Victory Lane for another time in a recruitment race tonight. First recruitment race victory, as you noted. So before we let you go, is there anybody you'd like to thank or shout out?
Yeah, shout out to Mike for putting this whole thing on. It's going to be a great week, hopefully with no issues. So thanks. Shout out to him. Shout out to MVG boys. Jeff Merrick and Nathan Harbour, who unfortunately got knocked out, and also Matt Lee as well for helping during the race. Hey, Nathan got knocked out in the heat race, but I know he'll be there to battle throughout the week in the heats and the duels and all that. So shout out to them. Shout out to everyone who races to make all this possible. And shout out to you guys for broadcasting. Shout out to everyone watching, and we will see you. Depending on what heat we're in, we will see you then.
Obviously, now we look forward to the heat list. Look forward to seeing where the 39 car takes to the grid this weekend as you begin your run for the SummerSlam 499 championship belt. Congratulations on the win tonight in the final recruitment race. Go enjoy it. Go celebrate. Good luck this weekend, and we'll see you then for the SummerSlam 499.
All right. Appreciate you, Dawson.
Daniel Falkingham, your winner of the final recruitment race of the road to the SummerSlam 499. We now begin post-race coverage. Not going to keep you here too long. It is 12:22 Eastern on the East Coast. It's one of the latest finishes we've had to a PGR race, at least since I've been doing this, so we won't keep you too long. But do want to reflect on the race. Again, it was incredibly chaotic. This Gen-6 car provides what I think is the best draft racing on the service right now. Tonight, another prime example. 4 wide, 4 different times. I mean, guys throwing right rears at each other, throwing blocks on each other. Hunter East, a guy that we don't really know, kind of going through the middle and making a name for himself. We had so much to digest in tonight's recruitment race heading into Thursday. There's so much now that's on the table to expect this weekend. Again, if you liked what you saw, come back this weekend. Or if you're a driver and you want to know how to get into it, you still have, I think, and again, it's past midnight. It was supposed to be midnight, but I would think that if you were to register right now, you could still get in on the action. The SummerSlam 499, go to PGR eSports.com. There'll be a banner at the top of the screen. That'll take you from there. There'll be a register now button. You can get in on the action as well. But boy, if this doesn't set the stage, I don't know what does. This weekend's going to be incredible. I've been stoked for a long time. Austin's been stoked for a long time. Mike has been stoked for a long time. All of us in the management scene, the broadcasting scene, have been really excited about this event and the way it's going to go with this car and the racing it's putting on. It's going to be a historic weekend. Tonight, though, you got a glimpse of it. You got a taste. It should bring you back this weekend. If it doesn't, I don't know if you have a pulse at this point in time. Tyler, I want to get your thoughts on the race. Obviously, got to watch it here from high atop the Talladega Superspeedway with me. You're going to be in the SummerSlam 499 this weekend. I can't imagine it did much for your nerves, but kind of, take me through what you saw tonight out of tonight's incredible recruitment race.
Well, I mean, nerves are nerves. I mean, shoot. When you compare it to real life racing, especially with all the chaos that you have at a short track racing, nerves are always nerves. Just watching some of these guys, seeing like the moves and stuff, you have to just be aware of like what moves you're gonna have to make. Like myself in general, especially when it comes to the heat races, if I want to make it into the feature again to try to get that run, heat racing, it's gonna be all about just getting that right qualifying, try to set a pace for yourself to where you don't get yourself into any kind of mess, because like how we seen in a heat race, one mess up and that's it, you're done. So it's all consistency, being able to make the right moves at the right time, trying to make sure to avoid any incidents that could knock you out, as well as pit stops. Got to be perfect on your pit stops. Otherwise, we saw what happened to Sierra Clampert and a few other drivers in the feature. Pit stops will be key.
Well, pit stops were key back in February in the PGR 500. They were key last year in the SummerSlam 499. Surely now they will be key on Sunday afternoon. Let's give you the rundown one more time. The road to the SummerSlam 499 is complete. We will take tomorrow night off. There will be a race, but I don't think we'll broadcast anything as we prepare and tinker with the final details of this weekend's events. Thursday officially is the first of 4 race days, and here's how those days will look one more time for you. Thursday night, that's July 31st. It's coming up in 2 days, well, really less than 2 days now, about a day and a half, as it's currently now Wednesday on the East Coast. But no, regardless, Thursday night, that's this week, July 31st at 8 p.m. Eastern. We'll be live here on PGR eSports for the first 3 of 8 heat races for the SummerSlam 499. The first one will go green right around 8 o'clock. We'll probably be live around 7:50 for some extended pre-race coverage to set the scene for the night of racing. Heat 1 at 8 p.m. Eastern, Heat 2 at 9 p.m. Eastern, Heat 3 at 10 p.m. Eastern. They will go off back to back to back. Similarly to February, if you watch the PGR 500, we'll do it almost exactly the same for this weekend. Friday night, Heat 4, Heat 5, and Heat 6, 8 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. Eastern. Friday, identical to Thursday. Saturday's where it gets a little bit wonky. 1 p.m. Eastern, we'll go live for Heat number 7, and at 2 p.m. Eastern, it's Heat number 8. We'll take a short break after that. We'll come back for dual race number 1 at 4 p.m., dual race number 2 at 5:30 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. And then the main show, Sunday afternoon with pre-race live at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's the 3rd annual running of the PGR SummerSlam 499 right here on PGR eSports. Glad to have Christian Hill coming back on to help us and be our producer downstairs. Can't wait to have him back on the team on Sunday afternoon. You'll hear my voice a lot. I'm going to be calling basically every race this weekend, so looking forward to bringing you along with me for what should be a historic weekend of racing for PGR. That's going to just about wrap it up as we hit 12:30 on the East Coast. We'll let everybody go get some rest that lives out here on the eastern side of the country. And that's going to do it for us. We'll take tomorrow night off. Again, there will be nothing tomorrow night in terms of planned programming. The next time you will hear my voice, it'll be time to run the Sim Racing's marquee summer event. The SummerSlam 499 is here. Come back with us on Thursday, and we're going to get it started as we go into an electric weekend of racing. Hope you enjoyed tonight's race. Daniel Falkingham goes to victory lane in the recruitment race, and the road to the SummerSlam 499 is officially complete. We'll see you back here on Thursday. For my broadcast partner, Tyler Vickery, my name is Dawson Wise. You've been watching PGR eSports. Buckle up. This weekend's going to be a fun one. Hope you'll join us Thursday night. Until next time, you've been watching PGR eSports coverage of the SummerSlam 499 recruitment races. Until Thursday night,